for Brad and Chucky. I'm just curious, in prep so far, how much has the focus been on what Colgate likes to do from behind the three-point line, and how many guys they have who can shoot from three?
Yeah, it's still early in the week, so honestly we've been really focusing on ourselves too, and different things that we need to clean up and make sure that we're focused on and locked in as we get closer to game day. But obviously Colgate, their ability on the offensive end to fill it up from the three-point line, not with one guy, they're two guys, but usually with four guys on the floor at one time. Their ability to stretch the floor, to make plays, their ability to get assists and finding those three-point shooters, whether it's on the strong side or weak side of the ball. Really talented players, really well coached, so we spent a lot of time talking about their different actions and personnel, and we're looking forward to the challenge on Friday.
This is for Brad and Steven. Both of you guys were obviously Johnny's teammates last season. I was wondering at what point did both of you know that he could make the jump that he has made, and how has he been able to sustain that level of play to be a first-team All-American from what both of you have seen over the last two seasons?
Probably just his mindset. Like Coach always says after he came home this summer from wherever he was, that was a big thing that we saw. And then just over this year, I don't think he's maybe missed one game all year, so just him being available every single game, then him practicing every day and bringing the intensity, makes us all want to play hard, along with Brad and Chucky and other guys, but him too, just makes us all want to compete and play hard every day.
Yeah, I'd say this summer, when he came back from Latvia with the USA team, and just his confidence level has always been high and his talent level has always been high, and then when you put those two together with the opportunities he's had this year out there on the court, with a lot more playing time than the prior year, he's taken advantage of it. And, we give him the ball a lot, we try to put him in positions for him to be successful, and he's been great, and so we're excited for this last March run here. But I think, again, kind of what Steven said, just his consistency throughout the year in practice, not only playing games at a high level, but practicing at a high level has been key for not only him, but our team's success as well.
Jeff?
Brad.
Jeff, sorry.
Go ahead.
Chucky over here, kind of back to Colgate's three-point shooting. You guys have done a good job running teams off the three-point line and limiting the number of three-pointers they get. Is that going to be important in this game, and why, in your opinion, have you guys been successful this year doing that?
Absolutely. Every game is important, whether it's running teams off the three-point line or making them shoot threes. We just defend the way we do, and I think it's just the way we guard. I think everybody wants to guard on defense and wants to get stopped. And that actually leads to our offense as well. So I think if we can defend any team in the tournament, I think we'd be good.
Abby?
Brad, you've been around Tyler a while. If you could just put into words how he's improved from when you first saw him and then to now, could you just describe that for me?
I think he's grown immensely in almost every area of the game. I think obviously physically he's gotten bigger and stronger and faster, but also just mentally his confidence level and his desire not only to, I think when he was a freshman he just wanted to make an impact, and he was diving on the floor, taking charges, doing all those little things to help our team win. And as he's gotten older, now he's a huge offensive weapon for us too. And he still does all those intangible things that make him a great teammate and a great leader and a winner. But his ability to score around the rim, his ability to, do those little things that maybe don't show up in the stat sheet offensively too, to get people open shots, set good screens. And he calms us down offensively when we need a post touch or we need to just play at our pace or our tempo. He's grown immensely, I think, in every area of the game, and that's why he's one of the top players you'll find.
Ben?
Brad and Chucky, as you go through the tape over the last several games, when you look at yourselves, the three-point shots that you guys are taking, for the most part, have they been grade A looks that the coaching staff and you guys agree are good looks? And if not, what can you do to get better looks here going forward?
Yeah, I think the shots that we've taken were pretty good looks. They're in the offense, and when we got a couple of heat checks, so we just let it fly sometimes, and Coach Crowl lets us get those heat checks. So I think they're pretty good shots.
Yeah, I agree. We're trying to always want to play inside out, want to take the best look we can, and whether that's, getting a post touch kick out or transition threes, we want to stay aggressive, whether shots are falling or not. I think going forward too, you got to stay confident, you got to keep letting them fly no matter where you're at in the game. But again, I think one thing that we've been continuing to stress is just playing inside out, getting post touches and taking the right ones, and also, when the times come, step up and knock them down.
Lance?
For whoever feels strongly about this question, 'tis the season where everyone's a college basketball expert predicting what's going to happen with your team and everybody else. I know you try to avoid that stuff, but you're going to see some of it, I'm sure. Do you ever use some of that as motivation? If somebody's down on you, somebody predicts you to, go down in one of the early rounds, that type of thing. Have you guys seen any of that?
Yeah, I don't really pay much attention to it because I just try to focus on our team and what we got to do to get better. Because all the seedings don't really matter to me. Every team in March Madness is a really good team. That's why they're there for a reason. So we don't pay much attention to it. We just focus on ourselves and try to play Wisconsin basketball.
Mike?
Chucky, speaking of your three-point shooting, I think you're like 11-22 over the last 6 games. Is your confidence maybe become a little bit higher from there?
Yeah, it definitely has. I've been in the gym a lot more, getting up more shots, so I think that's definitely helped me shoot with more confidence.
Brad, what would you tell Chucky to what he's going to experience coming up Friday and hopefully Sunday?
It's still basketball. It's March Madness, but the game doesn't change. Still the same size ball, 10-foot hoop, and you're still playing with the same guys. And so, the disciplines and the standards and the principles that have made us successful all year and have made him successful all year, just stick to it. Trust it, trust himself, trust his work, trust his teammates, and enjoy it. I think that's one thing that everyone can get caught up in the hoopla of, whatever you want to talk about with March Madness, but also this is what not only the time you've put in this year is for, but all the time back to when you picked up the basketball. It's all put together for these moments, and that's what makes this month so special is the time and the work and the sacrifice you put in. So take a few minutes to take some deep breaths and enjoy the moments that you're about to be a part of because they go by quick.
We'll do a few more for these guys. Jim?
Brad's gonna be a little weird. He's sitting right next to you, but he doesn't seem like a freshman.
Yeah, he
both of us
does.
on the outside. Okay, that's why I'm asking you. Like from the outside, there hasn't been very many moments where he seems like a freshman. Have you seen any or many this year?
No, I think on the floor he's very poised, very mature, lets the game come to him, and just wants to do everything he can to help his team win. So offensively, really, let's get people in the right spots, creating opportunities for others, or taking advantage of opportunities that he's created for himself. And then defensively, he sets the tone of our defense with his ball pressure, and when he's locked in, we're all locked in because he's kind of the head of the snake to say defensively. So he knows that we all feed off of his energy defensively and the energy that he brings. Whether it's diving on the floor or getting over ball screens or those little things that maybe people on the outside don't notice, we take notice and we feed off of it. And he knows that, and we communicate that to him. And so for a freshman to do that at the level he has in this program in the league, it's pretty impressive. But that's the best thing about Chucky too. It's just the beginning for him. The best is yet to come, not only in his personal career, but also for our team's legacy here in these next 3 weeks.
Jesse?
Another one for Brad. I think people outside the program coming into this season had questions about whether what happened last year with the recordings and the meeting would have an impact on this team. You were pretty confident even then that it wouldn't. Why hasn't that had any impact this season? And in what ways do you think Coach Gard has changed it all this season, or the way he's interacted with players?
I would say each season it's unique and it's individual. I think when people talk about my career, they're talking about my 5 years, but it's really 5 individual years. And so each individual year, it's with those guys in the locker room and in the program. So I think the reason the audio recorded, whatever we want to talk about that's kind of on the last year, it doesn't affect the people that are in the locker room now because they weren't involved in it. That's as much as I'll say about that. But also, as soon as we got here in the spring and the summer, it was about us. It was about this group of guys, and the goals that we had and the standards that we wanted to uphold to. So they've done a great job everyone's done a great job of buying in, developing those relationships, and making the most of this season. And like I said, I think the best is still yet to come. And Coach Gard and the rest of the coaching staff, it's been incredible all year. Not only the relationships that we've developed as players, but also with our coaching staff, and the memories we've made, the success we've had is great, but also, all of the little things that we get to do every day, whether it's plane rides or team meals, or, I think we've been able to do a lot more together, also because there's not as much COVID regulations and whatnot, but we just really enjoyed it. We've enjoyed spending time with one another, and it's made this season so special.
Last two, Jeff?
Stephen, the last couple of games, I think turnovers were an issue for you against Nebraska, and then you picked up a couple fouls against Michigan State. In this game Friday, what are some of the things you need to do more consistently or consistently better to have a greater impact on the game?
Like you said, just be able to stay on the floor, especially in the first half versus Michigan State. I just on the bench for the whole half, so just trying to find that line where you can be physical, but not too physical to where you're fouling. And then just when I catch in the post, just try to be strong, not turn it over. I threw it away against Nebraska a couple times, so just those two things are going to be big for me, just to stay on the floor.
Abby?
Brad, there was a moment in the Michigan State game last week that you were on the floor with Jordan, Jacoby, Chris, and Ben Carlson, and it's the first time I can recall that it's been 4 bench players on the court. Can you just speak to what you saw from them in that moment, if you remember, and then just like your confidence level in those 4?
I think our confidence level is high as everyone on the bench, not only those 4 guys, but people that show up every day. And whether they're putting work on scout team or they're learning some of the plays to get a shot here on Friday and Sunday. The confidence comes from what we get to see from them every day, not only just in games, but in practice, and before practice, after practice, in the mornings and late nights. So a lot of confidence. I personally don't remember what you're talking about, but that's the beauty of this program and the team that we have. We always say the strength is in our numbers, and it's kind of that it takes all hands, it takes all feet on deck. So whether it was foul trouble we were dealing with or injuries, whatever it may be, we have enough guys to fill in those spots, and we're confident with no matter what lineup we have out there that we can compete at the highest level.